With the Doctor and his friends exploring all of time and space, everything that's ever happened or ever will, they lead non-linear lives, going from one place to the next, and we join them for the ride. But what would it look like if we put their adventures in timeline order? That's what I aim to find out in this series of videos. I'll be focusing on the 15th Doctor's era today, and to keep things simple I'll only be including the TV show, no expanded media like Big Finish, minisodes or books, even though they're all considered canon. So, if you're ready, switch on your Eurometer, sit back, relax as we go into the vortex. We begin 115 million years ago, when the Doctor and Ruby almost changed the future of the human race by stepping on a butterfly. Stepping through a door in the Time Hotel, Joy and the Doctor narrowly avoid being eaten by a T-Rex 65 million years in the past. They then travel back to 1 AD, where Joy becomes the star that guides the three wise men to Bethlehem. In 1813, the Doctor falls in love with a bounty hunter called Rogue and joins forces with him to stop the Childer. Arriving in 1865 Bavaria, the Rani kidnaps a newborn baby, Desiderium, who's the god of wishes. Teaching his student how to play the Devil's Chord, Timothy Drake inadvertently unleashes Maestro in 1925. At the Queen's Hotel in 1940, an elderly couple encounter the Doctor after he walks into their room. Investigating an abandoned cinema in 1952 Miami, Belinda and the Doctor fight Lux, the god of light. In 1953, the first people to climb Mount Everest see the Doctor as he enters their tent and takes their equipment. Travelling on the Orient Express in 1962, Sylvia Trench talks to the Doctor when he appears in her cabin. Wanting to see the Beatles, the Doctor and Ruby land on the 11th of February 1963 and discover Maestro's interference. On the 24th of December 2004, the Doctor saves Ruby from being kidnapped by goblins after her mum leaves her by the church on Ruby Road. Before the Doctor goes back and saves her, an alternate timeline is created when Ruby's eaten by the goblins as a baby. Fostering 5 children instead of 33, Ruby's absence makes Carla a much more bitter and cold person in the present day. Trying to get Belinda home, the Doctor lands on the 1st of January 2007, where he meets Conrad Clark as a young boy. In 2008, Belinda's boyfriend, Alan, gives her a star certificate for her birthday, naming a star after her. Belinda and the Doctor land in 2019, where they discover that a mysterious barber has taken over Omo's palace. From the 1st to the 24th of December 2023, the goblins interwove coincidence and luck into Ruby's timeline as they prepare to kidnap Lulubelle. The Doctor takes Ruby to June 2024 to show her what the future will look like if they don't stop Maestro. Sometime in 2024, Conrad Clark is marked as the Shriek's next prey, before the Doctor and Ruby send it back to its hive. Waiting no more, Sutekh reveals his presence in 2024 and almost kills the entire universe before the Doctor stops him. With the Target novelisation confirming that the Doctor and Ruby landed in Wales on the 9th of November 2024, I'm assuming 73 Yards must come after Sutekh. In an alternative timeline, where the Doctor vanishes after stepping on a fairy circle. On the 9th of November 2024, a mysterious woman drives everyone away from Ruby. A year later, in 2025, Ruby seeks Unit's help, only for them to abandon her too. We see Ruby become more isolated through the years, as she gets less birthday cards, from her 25th in 2029, her 30th in 2034, and her 40th in 2044. Connecting Roger Ap Williams' nickname, Mad Jack, to the Fairy Circle, Ruby helps him rise to power in 2046, before causing his downfall. In 2086, an elderly Ruby returns to the TARDIS and explains how she never found her mother and it hasn't snowed since. Admitted to hospital in 2089, Ruby embraces the woman who was her all along as she goes back to Wales in 2024 and stops the Doctor from stepping on the Fairy Circle. Booking into the Sandringham Hotel on the 25th of December 2024, Joy meets the Doctor after he follows a Silurian into her room. Interviewing Ruby in 2025, Conrad starts dating her so he can use her as part of his plan to discredit Unit. Finishing her shift at work, Belinda is kidnapped by robots on the 23rd of May 2025. Conrad's wish world keeps resetting on the 23rd of May 2025, so it can be broken enough for the Rani to see underneath the skin of reality, before Ruby ends the wish and the 24th of May arrives without Earth being destroyed. Stranded on Earth for a year, the Doctor travels to New York on the 24th of December 2025, where a door to the Time Hotel opens. In a timeline where Sutek's gift of death spreads across the universe, the Doctor, Ruby and Mal travel to an alternate 2046, where Ruby's mother would have had to do a compulsory DNA test. Landing in 2925, the Doctor and Belinda stick around to enjoy the 803rd Interstellar Song Contest. Arriving at the Time Hotel in 4202, the Doctor notices a man with a briefcase and investigates what he's up to. Later in the year, Anita rescues him from the Rani, using the doors in the hotel. On the 5th of October, 5087, the Doctor ends up stood on a landmine capable of blowing up half a Castarian free. Landing on Baby Station Beta in 21506, the Doctor and Ruby discover a bogeyman loose on the lower levels. In the 4027th century, the Doctor fights the Midnight Entity again, 400,000 years after their first encounter. We don't know when exactly the Doctor and Ruby try to save the people of Fine Time, but it was said to be in the future. Despite wanting to hold on to his face for a long time, Fate had other plans for 15, as he chooses to pour regeneration energy into the vortex to change reality one tiny degree. He gives his life to save a life, bringing his story to a close and beginning a whole new one as he regenerates into a familiar face who may or may not be his next incarnation. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. To support what I do, check out my Patreon or Ko-fi page. Links are in the description below. I've been Media Lord. Until next time, goodbye.